Hello and welcome to the Psychic Tarot Show. Hello and welcome, beautiful Beyond Mystic community, familiar friends and faces. Hi, Angela, Hermiller, Lupo, Wendy. Some of your names I can't pronounce. My apologies. Cobbear, lovely to see you. Fairy lights, yay. Tuning in from all over the world and sharing our energies here today, every Saturday, so that we can have a kind of shared experience of holding space and tuning in to receive the very best guidance that we can for our community, our friends, family, and loved ones, and so on. So thank you for being here, because as I've said before, our shared energy offers the opportunity for spirit to speak in a very profound way to us and give us insights that we can see are not just for us personally, but are for everybody. So it's different than a personal reading. Yeah, and it's not also exactly just a reading for the world. It's really a reading for our people, our community. So lovely to see you, and hasn't it been an incredible week? An opportunity, I think, for all of us to revisit things, have an opportunity to regroup within, to be challenged in some of our perceptions, but also to be invited into even greater connection, heart opening, integrity, alignment, purpose, all of that 9 energy that we got last week. Meg and I were tuning in with above, below, the 9-day, the 9-month, and the 9-year. And we're going to have one more of those. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're having at least one more of those, right? 2 more of those. We'll have another 999 on the 18th of September and another 999 on the 27th of September. So this month has that energy of, again, release. Meg pulled that card, 999, the release, and things coalescing. It's like when everything comes together to reform into something new. That's the energy of this time. So before I get started, just to bring your awareness to, here's where we are, the Psychic Tarot Weekly Show, coming to you live every Saturday on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Please like, share, and subscribe on those channels. And if you would like to book a session with me, you can find me over here on the Beyond Mystic Consultations page. I am taking bookings into next week, and you can book a 1-hour private intuitive tarot reading, psychic reading. I do both reading the cards and also tuning in, channeling all different aspects of your life from your guidance team through that beautiful bandwidth of the heart. And as a result, we get some really great information, what is most ideal for you to be aware of at this time. These sessions are recorded and you can review them. A lot of people on our platform from our community have had sessions with me over the years. Even before I joined Beyond Mystic, I was doing readings on my own website and doing readings for many people, many awake people in our community. Janine had sent a lot of people to me before I even came on to Beyond Mystic. So some of you I've known for many years, and it's been a real honor and a pleasure to work with you. So yeah, if you want to book with me, jump on to the consultations page, use the coupon code below. Let's go for it, shall we? I'm going to bring the cards up a little bit bigger here and remove my beautiful amethyst and just set my calcite disc aside and do some shuffling. I've already cleared the cards, so I'm ready to just tune in with all of you. Just going to check your comments here. All right. I'm wearing this beautiful blazer that I've had for a while, and it actually has the snakeskin pattern on it. And I was really feeling, the snakeskin energy, the snake energy this week, which is about shedding the old skins. And tuning into this year in Chinese astrology, it is the year of the wood snake. And we've talked about this a lot, that this is a time of release. It's a year of release. The whole year, the whole 9-year is a year of release. And when I say 9-year, what I'm referring to is when we add up all the numbers of 2025, it comes to a 9. So let's see what shows up for us. Hi, Digibean and Lupo, MS Kimberly B, Trip 2. Everybody's showing up. I love it. Okay, starting our week off with the energy of the 8 of Pentacles. 8 Pentacles. So when all else fails, get into the 3D and do something productive. This is actually the ego this week. The ego, the House of Aries, is a lot about the personality. It's a lot about what you're bringing into this week. Kind of like where you've come from and what you're ready to commit to. Does that make sense? Like what you're motivated by this week. So even though there's so much release happening, there's so many invitations for us to look at things differently, things that we thought we understood, we realize now are not exactly as we perceive them. So we're having our perceptions challenged a lot. And it can be you can really lose yourself in the emotional overwhelm of that, the energetic burnout, and the mental confusion. Let's not do that. The card, we're starting off this week's forecast with a let's say, I'm going to put all that aside, my mental and my emotional, and I'm going to focus, and my energetic, and I'm going to focus on practical things. I'm going to get something done. I'm going to, work with my hands, do something in 3D. Okay. And Taurus, our security, our finances, our resources. This is really lovely. It feels like there's options open this week. There's new windows of opportunity. This is the Explorer card. So for many of you, you've already explored different types of currencies. You've already explored financial systems, alternative financial systems. This week is asking you to take not necessarily a bigger risk, but to go a little further into those explorations, because this is an invitation for exploration, basically, is what this 3 of Wands is. And in the house of Taurus, Taurus is also where it's kind of what we automatically go to, our comfort zone. Taurus has a lot to do with our physical and our emotional comforts. And this does suggest that we will probably push ourselves a bit outside of our comfort zone, or we're going to be invited outside of our comfort zone. And it does feel, according to the 2 cards that are down so far, that there is some safety to venture a little outside of your comfort zone. Okay. Oh boy. Wow. Queen of Swords in Gemini. Well, she is the Gemini card. So whenever we see a card in one of the placements that it loves to be, it's automatically going to be like, this is really good for communication. A good week for diplomacy, clear communications, negotiations, and boundaries. Wow. So I'm supposed to say that again quickly. Negotiations, communications, mediations, and boundaries this week. And it's well aspected because she's where she loves to be. She's in Gemini. So you could have more success and be heard and understood better this week than the average week. And boy, I think we need it. I think we all need it, right? I know I certainly do. Even being a Gemini, I'm like, well, yep, it's going to be a good week for clear communication and boundary making and so on. Okay. Look at this, a face-off of the two queens. They're literally facing each other. And okay, tarot card readers, jump in, please. I want to hear, how rare is this to have the queen that is associated with the sign of Cancer in, guess what? The house of Cancer. The queen that is associated with the sign of Gemini in, guess what? The house of Gemini. What does that mean? That means that there's two of the divine feminine characters out of the four queens. Two of them are in their very favorite place on the whole wheel. And that is auspicious and supportive, that they get to each be who they are in an exalted way, in the best version of themselves. So again, you're going to have the gift of clear communication, of non-violent communication, of non-triggering communication, boundary making, clarification, and you're also going to be in your natural compassion. This Queen of Cups in the house of home, you know, it's sort of like our root chakra. It's where we came from. It's feeling safe. It's feeling nurtured. So we're going to have both clear communication and safety and nurturing very well aspected. So this looks like we could do a lot of healing around confusion, misunderstandings, hurt feelings. Isn't this such a bomb after a pretty powerful week? I think it is. I think it's beautiful. It speaks very well to what's possible this week. I don't think I've ever seen the Queen of Cups in her house and the Queen of Swords in her house facing each other in all my years of reading. Yeah. Right. Truth versus emotion. Yeah, I don't think they could be. You could see them as sparring off, but I'm feeling more that because they're well aspected. I mean, we'll see what's on the other side of this Queen of Cups, but so far, because they're well aspected, they're actually going to be working harmoniously together. Yeah. Yeah, we have been humbled by the events of last week. We've been humbled by the events of the last 4 or 5 years. And, it is, how do I want to say it? It is asking a lot of us to not lose the plot and to not turn on ourselves or each other. Looking beyond what is coming up is all that is ready to be released. So this week feels like we could go further with actually having a feminine approach to that. Let's see what shows up in Leo. Okay, so Leo, courage, openness, So there will be, because this is an emotionally not very open card, right? You see the character, he's sitting with his legs crossed, his arms crossed, and there's something being offered, but he's kind of shaking his head and going, I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust this. I don't feel super trusting. Leo is about, you know, being really open-hearted and courageous. Leos tend to be very trusting, and this is not super trusting. So let's see how well aspected it is. If it's well aspected by the cards around it and across from it, then it means that we're just meant to, not totally let our guard down this week. But if it's poorly aspected, maybe it's suggesting that we need to let our guard down a little bit. So stepping outside of our comfort zone, having clear communication, good boundaries, having this real sense of emotional care, compassion, nurturing for self and others. Right now, this Leo open heart feels a little closed. Let's see what's around it. Okay. It's like bizarre. This is the open heart card. I call it unconditional love, and that's in the house of Virgo. So, again, all of this 9 energy suggests that we somehow get it. We are somehow getting clued in, emotionally at least, that we're part of something that is larger than us. Like all these little, what I've been working with some of my clients this week on, all these little or larger or medium-sized ruptures in their personal lives or struggles or challenges. There's a feeling that it's part of something bigger that is trying to shift. And this is suggesting that Virgo, the season of Virgo, which is all about habits, it's all about your getting in your groove, getting in your rut. Virgo is very much like you're choosing how to structure your daily life, your basic relationships, your livelihood, your all of those things. Virgo is incredible. Time management, planning, organization, strategy. And we probably all have to open up and see that we think we know what we're doing strategically in our relationships, in our businesses, in our personal lives, in our spiritual lives, in our truther perspectives, in our global initiatives. And yet we are all blind. We all have blind spots. And that is humbling. But it doesn't have to be with these cards so far. This does not spell disaster. This spells opportunity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's not close our minds, rather open our hearts. Mm-hmm. But, what you're opening your heart to, actually, Debser, is not necessarily everybody out there. You're just opening your heart, first of all. One of the first things that happens when we feel caught unawares is that we tend to point the finger outward and say, what are you doing? You did something to me. But often we're also looking at ourselves and going, how did I not see this? How did I believe something that wasn't quite right or have a false perception? And we can say, well, the other person is tricking me, or, the world is purposely keeping us manipulated and in the dark and so on. Or you can say, I have some blind spots. Spirit tries to show me things and I don't see them. I don't see them. These blind spots are being gently, like the blinders are opening, is what I'm hearing with this week. The blinders are opening. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's beautiful. It's also scary, right? Oh, I love this. We are given the opportunity to reconcile heart and mind. Love yourself first, then discern. Thank you. Love yourself first, then discern. How can one love from an empty cup? Exactly. Exactly. And it's interesting. I'm being shown this cup, and the cup looks like we see, of course, that there's a gift or a reward that's coming our way. Spirit is trying to give us something. Do you notice what happens when you throw that coin into the full cup? Some of it spills out. Are we being too full of ourselves? And when we try to add something else, something has to go? Are we not recognizing that we have more than enough and whatever spills out is ready to be released? And there's plenty to go around because there's more where that came from. So interesting, interesting. And so far, we have 3 cups in a row. Do you see this? Queen of Cups, 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Very strong emotional energy in this quadrant over here, which has a lot to do with our courage, our family of origin, our courage, and our habits and practices. So we can shift long-standing patterns of fear, insecurity, vulnerability, and see the things that are challenging us as opportunities to move beyond that. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah. And Leo is saying that's what you give away, right? So there's something of the release is what you give away. It's the giveaway. And if it's being taken, you don't need it. If it's being taken, you don't need it. Or it's ready to go. One of the two. Okay. I mean, this is really hard to say, right? Because we see a lot of sacrifices happening on the planet right now. We see a lot that's being taken, and there's a lot of feeling of tremendous suffering. And that doesn't feel like it's, meant to happen for any important reason. Like, why would that be happening? And again, it feels like there's something making room for something new. And people in these positions, when it's our turn to step to the front of the line and sacrifice something, we do it willingly because we know that it's going to contribute to the healing of the whole. So this is a very holistic card, and it does feel like extraordinary. Oh yeah, Marzek is saying soul contracts fulfilled. We're going to have a lot of soul contracts completed this month by that final 9/9 of the 27th of September. It feels like we've cleared and we have a reset emotionally. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, Deb, sir, it's been an emotional week. Emotions running high. Yep. Her Miller, I feel like I need to give more. We are all so used to protecting ourselves. It's a life lesson. And, it's one of the, I was just doing a session with a client, and she had had an experience where something broke. And there was, glass everywhere, and it was quite distressing for her. And what I often see with things that get kind of broken, smashed, and it can be literal, it can also be metaphoric, is that there is a sense of release and a sense of the giveaway with that. It's like we're letting go of something, And we all, in our family, we always had this, like, if a glass breaks or a dish breaks or something, instead of it being like, oh, that was clumsy, or, be more careful, and that was stupid of you. It's like, the spirits, the ancestors want to be fed. There's something we haven't given. We haven't attended to spirit ideally, and something needs to be released. Something needs to be offered. Ideally, the best thing you have is what you go, drop it. It's not about destructiveness. It's about, like, releasing the attachments so that new things can grow. Okay. Oh, another cup. Another cup. So we got both king and queen, and wow. Wow. Okay, tarot readers, jump in, please. King of Cups in your house of Libra. So this is the house of relationships, partnerships, agreements. You can't even go into legal agreements, contracts, and so on. And this feels like, phenomenal maturity. So I'm hearing mediation, arbitration, and phenomenal maturity, both in personal relationships, particularly, serious partnerships like marriage and life partners and so on, and also in serious business relationships. So a lot of maturity being brought to the table this week. I am so happy about this. It is also where we're looking for arbitrators, mediators, counselors, mature guides. It's really a great week to bring in mature resources that are neutral resources. I love it. And look at all the emotion. So 4 in a row of cups. So far, knock on wood, so far, this is positive building of energy, other than our heart being a bit closed, a little heart heavy or heart sensitive. So far, it looks like no problem. It's okay to keep your heart a little closed. You don't have to, you don't have to open it wide open to everybody, but you are opening it to yourself. And again, being willing to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit. Okay. All right. Now we've got, let's see if I can shift this so that we get a bit of a better, might have to back that up a bit. Yeah, there we go. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands in Scorpio. There it is. So it's kind of sparring. Some people look at this and they go, "Oh no, it's conflict. It's fighting." And really, it's just working with energy. The 5s bring the principle of chaos. They bring change. They bring growth. Change and growth are kind of synonymous with each other. So, especially when they happen slow enough that we can actually use the change as a positive influence. So far, we don't see destructive growth. We see constructive growth. This is hopeful. And when you see the 5 of Wands, do you see how all those wands are springing with new options, new opportunities? It means it's almost like throwing a new energy into the mix, and it creates all this, like, growth and change, because it's actually a catalyst for an up level. So there's going to be an up level, whatever's going on, where there could be some, again, not warring conflict. Now, this is also on the global stage. This is personal, it's our community, and it's also on the world stage. So whatever's been happening, there is continual kind of agitation, but also movement, because this is Scorpio. Scorpio is not going to avoid the conflict. It's also not going to just dwell in the conflict. It's going to go deep. It's going to get what it needs and it's going to clear it. So a lot can get cleared. A lot of long-standing conflict can get cleared. Yeah, working together, Lipo is saying. Whoops. And more like sparring, did you mean? Yeah, working together, Lupo is saying. Oh, interesting. Fred, thank you for that perspective. So far, all the cards but the Three of Wands have a blue background. You know, this is partly how I work with the tarot and how I teach it, is that, yeah, I look at sort of overall if there's any sense impressions that I'm getting, looking at it like a big painting, and it's like, wow, there's all this blue and then there's this one little splotch of yellow over here, one little splotch. And what that is suggesting is going to bring our focus there, isn't it? It's going to make us go, well, that stands out. And so therefore it gives it a little bit more priority. Again, step outside of your comfort zone. This is the try new things, try going at things from a new angle, be willing to try something different energetically, cross from that Five of Wands. Okay, let's see the next card that comes in. Another wand. Wow, another wand. And Sagittarius. Interesting. I also have recently worked with a Sagittarian client who was like, yeah, Sagittarius has the energy of making catalytic change. So, Aries is a fire sign that kind of initiates, and Leo is a fire sign that really expands into. Sagittarius is kind of like completing something. Sag is the highest evolved of the fire signs, and it is like making sure Sagittarian is shooting the arrow, making sure that the arrow hits its target. So there's going to be no new direction taken. So there could be some new direction this week, but nothing is going to take root that isn't on target. Do you get what I'm saying with that? It's like, it feels like we're not going to be able to settle until the target is reached. And in a political sense, that means that it is possible that one of these targets we've been waiting to hit, this critical mass or the right, everything to line up so that something can shift, that's very possible here. That's very possible this week. Hitting the target, which that you've hit the target when everything shifts, right? So it's sort of like when you go into negotiation or mediation, you don't get, people sometimes sit in mediation for hours and days because you don't come out of it until you see movement. You see like something is finally crystallizing, something is finally getting clear. And then that shows that you're finally sort of come to the target. So this is just a great, it's the second ace. Ace is all about renewal. We're already seeing an up-leveling and a renewal. Notice here, everybody, that in terms of the number cards, we've got the 8 at the beginning, but we've got a 3, a 4, 2 1s, and a 5. To me, so far, this is showing that we're actually already kind of in new cycles. So a lot of this 9 finishing up, this is old stuff. I think I said this last week. We're living in the past. We've already changed and we are still dealing with the consequences of our past actions, our past beliefs, our past karma, our past lives, our past ancestors. This week, you're going to know that you're finally clear of some of that because you're going to see progress. You're going to notice progress. Yeah. At least in one area. Yeah. 5D. 5D is here. Lupo says, us Sages always hit the target. Right, Lupo? And I bet you have to practice to do that. And if you don't hit it right away, you're not going to stop until you do. So, yeah. All right. Keep on going here. Aw. Feeling the I'm feeling the energy of focus and humility and compassion today from our community. And so whatever's been going on this week, it's brought us all to a good place, or most of us at least. Oh, yeah. Okay. Look at all the cars start dancing around here. The Fool in the house of Capricorn. Okay. Any Capricorns out there? Who's the most serious of the 12 signs? Who's the most serious of them all? Cappy. Capricorns are the most serious. They're the most, I want to just say, it's the highest position in the wheel. It's the highest position, ruled by Saturn. Law, order, systems, climbing to the top of the mountain. That's Capricorn. Guess what? The Fool made it, and it's now ready to take a leap of faith off that mountain. We're at the top of the mountain. It's time to take a leap of faith. If Capricorn can do it, we can all do it. Oh, Kathy's this week. This week, you could really be like out of character in terms of faith and demonstrating this leap of faith. Wow. Any Capricorns here? And tell me if this is where you're at. Start all over again. Just let go. Oh, Capricornius here. Capricorn here. A great card for Capricorn, right? So any of you Cappies feeling, not crappies, Cappies, any of you feeling like you're ready to, yeah. Oh, wow. Leo Sun, Capricorn Moon, Sag Rising. Yeah. So there you go. Leo Sun, Four of Cups, Capricorn Moon, the Fool, and Sag Rising, Ace of Wands. So even though your heart is protected, there's a sense of what the heck? I'm taking a leap of faith this week. And for each of us, this is going to come out differently. It's our own resistance. It's our own fear. And mine is different than yours, is different from the next person. They can have similarities, they can have overlaps, but everybody of us has our own unique sort of blend of fear. But I feel like for Capricorn energy to lead the charge, this is very unlike Capricorn, very unlike them. But if they do it, what does that signal? What does that signal? It signals if Cappy can trust to take a leap of faith, they are the masters of time. They're the masters of rules, of laws, of consequence, of karma. If they feel it's safe to leap, whoa, who are the rest of us to question? Yeah. Mm, yeah. Okay. And interesting that what is at the root of that? What is at the root of that is self-love. So this is in the house. This is the root chakra in the Cancer house here. Queen of Cups. She's like also what you learned from your mother, the positive aspects of your mother role model. Even if you had a challenging relationship with your mother, you might have an experience this week where you tap into some strength that you got from your mother. And it's interesting, I had a dream about my deceased mother this past week. I had some really powerful dreams, by the way. Um, I don't know, they were preemptive to big shifts, so we'll see what happens. But um, this energy of somehow our mothers, the, the positive, strong aspects of what we inherited from our mothers, will give us the courage and the confidence this week. So it's also could be, yeah, it also could be a time of great, sort of like, I don't want to say full, complete healing and forgiveness with your mother figures, but certainly being able to separate out the strengths from the challenges and being able to go, wow, okay, something that I've learned. It's almost like the universal mother. And we all tap into that. And it's, they're showing me the image I'm being shown is like where the little kid is like, I'm scared, when it's like you're jumping in the water for the first time and you're so scared. And sometimes the father's there going, oh, come on, you can do it. Just jump, just close your eyes and jump. But often it's where mom gets in the water and holds her arms, her hands up and goes, come on, just jump to me. Just jump to me. That's sweet, eh? That's what I feel. Our inner mother is there going, I'll catch you this week. I'll catch you. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, look at this. I learned to be honest, fair, loving, and ready for anything. My mother was also a Capricorn. Open the gates. Yeah, love it. Love it. Okay, someone is saying, where do I see it? Someone was asking about I'm new here and how do I ask a question? So I don't often answer personal questions. If you want personal questions, definitely check out my daughter Crystal's show Beyond Karma on Tuesday. She looks into personal questions, which is so cool, right? That you actually get, I mean, if it's something that you're willing to have explored on the platform and, open to everybody else. I am open to looking at questions about the world, things about, for all of us. So if you want to throw a question in there, and it is really great if you put it in capitals so that I can kind of scroll and see it. That's how you go about it. Yeah. Yes, Terry. Crystal is my daughter. She is. And she and I have both known Janine for a very long time. In fact, we all lived together in a house like 25 years ago or something like that. So part of the family. We're all family. Okay. So the magician in the house of Aquarius. Aquarius. So this feels to me like it has to do with the internet. It has to do with AI. I want to see how that's aspected. I'm actually going to pull the card beside it because that's a pretty powerful card to have there. Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. We say that one giant step forward and two little steps back or two little steps forward, one big step back. Same thing. It kind of works out to being like um, we're going forward emotionally in our maturity, our willingness to face conflict and have good boundaries, have a lot of compassion, a lot of self-love, self-awareness. All this is looking great, the ability to trust and take a leap of faith. And then we hit the magician in Aquarius. Now, why that is concerning to me is just be aware this week. Big Brother's watching. I don't know what I mean by that, but it's like just be aware of how much you put up on the internet, of how much you ask ChatGPT about all these really deep personal things. Like, I don't know, it feels like we want to just dial back. I'm not talking about, oh my gosh, we should be totally suspicious and everything's rigged. But I'm saying, while one thing zigs, something else zags. And something that's zagging a little out of alignment this week is AI. So it doesn't mean you have to freak out about it, but definitely if you have the option to kind of avoid it this week, I would do that. I would be like, you know what? Because we might have this like, oh my God, there's so much to figure out, and I'm going to go ask ChatGPT this and this and this and this, and I'm going to use, AI to do this, this, and this, and this. And it just might not be the best week for that. Right? Yeah, we're still watching a movie, not done yet. And I don't know what this is about exactly. But when we are in these very vulnerable, emotional, open states where we're doing a lot of building perspective and learning to work together, negotiate, arbitrate, it's not necessarily the time to open the door wide to AI and tell it all our business. Yeah. And, doing this for many, many years, and sometimes it seems like a small point, but look at this whole spread. I mean, we got a little reverb over here in Scorpio. Not a big deal, especially because it's pretty well aspected with everything around it. So everything is just like, okay, we're doing pretty good. And then whoosh, we got the moon in Pisces. The moon in Pisces. We are still in this eclipse season. And remember Meg saying, it's all this Piscean energy. We're back in. Remember we talked about we're going to go back in. There's all this retrograde into Pisces, even though we were talking several months ago about finally we're moving out of Pisces. This is one more time that we dip back down in there, right? We dip backwards a little bit. So it's going to have that feeling, oh my God, are we still doing this? Why? And this is where the final doubt catches you. In Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf holds up the staff and says, you shall not pass, and, whatever, and the Balrog falls. And then it's like, he's like, good, we dealt with that. And he turns around to go, and then that last little piece that was still there, he looked away a minute too soon. This week has that feeling in it. On one level, we're trusting, but there's just this little bit of shadow left here. So trust yourself, trust your friends, your family, trust your relationships with humans, with like real work. Trust what you can work with your hands. Trust negotiating with real people in real time, if possible. Trust your back backing with the energy of your mother figure or your, mothering energy. Trust yourself, but trusting Big Brother 100%, not quite there yet. So keep a little, they're going, keep a barrier up, keep a shade up. Don't give everything out yet. Her Miller. I concur. Oh, I don't know if you're concurring to what I'm saying or to I'm a Pisces and that's why I'm weird. Oh, my moon is in Pisces. That's why I'm weird. Well, weird really, if the Piscean energy it's not necessarily weird, it's just fully open. It's wide open, right? It's got a little of this and a little of that. It's the final sign. It's got everything. It's like the color black. When you, I have this beautiful shirt that's done with ice dye and they melt black, and inside of black is all the colors of the rainbow. So that's Pisces. Pisces is like all the colors of the rainbow coming from blackness, from the void, from the great mystery. So, it's this sense that we never completely get rid of all the dark, right? We never completely. So sometimes we feel that because we can trust all of this area, and this is a spiritual warrior as well, by the way, right? Even think about the story of Christ and the disciples. You trust all of them, but one will betray you. It's like, it's this energy of there's always something to be on guard with, but it doesn't mean you have to have your guard up everywhere with everyone all the time. And this is where we learn to discern. And this tool, looking at the tarot, especially together in this heart open state, we're getting a little invitation to consider maybe being extra discerning around AI and our online stuff this week. Yeah. MS Kimberly saying, great analogy. Then Gandalf the Grey becomes Gandalf the White. It's true, but not without going through a real dark night of the soul. So, these stories are meant to tell us, really pay attention. Never fully let your guard down, right? And the last one is a 9. So this feels to me like, okay, we are today the 13th. So 9 days takes us to the 21st, which is, I think, the next eclipse. Is that right? And oh, sorry, it takes us to the 22nd. Where's my math? So the day after the eclipse. And then I'm talking about significantly the 27th. So the 22nd, the 27th, we've got these completion phases of this eclipse season, and a lot to do with the 9 energy. So again, I talked about this last week. I think this card came up somewhere significant, hanging in there, going the whole 9 yards. A stitch in time saves 9, hanging on by a thread. This guy, look at him. He's been in the battle. He's got himself, like, he's lined up all his protection. But do you see there's one little spot open where he's still a bit vulnerable behind him? Do you see that? So again, a feeling that the battle is not complete. And will it ever fully be in our lifetime? I don't know. But we certainly don't have to be as, scared. Like I've said over and over again, I was doing forecasts on my YouTube channel like 3 years ago. And boy, I remember some of you A few of you were on there with me back in those old days, and you remember it was all the cards, the devil, 3 of swords, 7 of cups, tower. Oh, it was just like really scary. Really scary. We were going into the storm. Okay. They've been getting better and better and better and better and better over the last 6 or 8 months. So we're we are tired, but we have done so much. Yeah. All right. Great read lifting. Thank you. Yes, Lady Venus Astrology is saying so synchronistic. My tablet totally crashed as I was about to watch, and I thought maybe this was the 3 days of darkness. Luckily, it's not. Well, I don't really see the 3 days of darkness coming up here this week, but I don't know. There could be something. This is the moon card, something before the end of this cycle of the eclipses, perhaps. Yeah, 9 days, 2 weeks. Hard to say. Hard to say. Yeah, it has been a very, very powerful eclipse season. I agree. So our hour is up. I don't see the question from the person that was going to ask it, but I just want to put that out there to all of you. Like, if you would like me to look at some more questions. I know Janine is looking at all kinds of stuff on a regular basis, but I'm also happy to pull some cards and give maybe even slightly different perspective than what Janine is giving. So please feel free to come on and bring questions. I might not get to more than a couple, 2 or 3 at the most in the forecast show, but I'm happy to squeeze that in. So yeah, I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful week. I'm just going to come back onto the screen share here and bring your attention over to our end of summer sale. You've probably seen this before, but just in case you haven't, check it out. Flora Lane is giving this incredible offer, which is 30% off selected soaps for a limited time only, using the code Beyond Mystic 30. And of course, you can book a session with me. You can find me here on the Beyond Mystic consultations page and use the coupon code below to receive an additional, add 10% discount. And I am taking bookings this coming week. Would love to see you over there. And I wish you all the best, everybody. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you here next time. Bye for now. Blessings.